In this example, we'll be converting degrees to radians. Convert 45 degrees to radians. Remember, the conversion factor for going from degrees to radians is pi over 180. So what we do is we take 45 degrees and we multiply that times pi over 180 degrees, and that is radians. And then we simplify. 45 divides into 180 4 times, so we have that 45 degrees is the equivalent of pi over 4 radians. Let's work another conversion. Convert negative 270 degrees to radians. So we will multiply negative 270 degrees times pi over 180 degrees radians. Then, to rewrite it in fraction form, and then we'll simplify, this would be negative 270 degrees over 180 degrees times pi radians. And now simplifying this fraction, it'll simplify to negative 3 pi over 2, and that's in radians. So negative 270 degrees is negative 3 pi over 2 radians. Let's work one more conversion. Convert 249.8 degrees to radians. So we are going to multiply 249.8 degrees times pi over 180 degrees radians. We would do this on the calculator, and it will give us an approximate answer, which is equal to 4.360 radians. And it's approximation because of the pi, which is approximated by the calculator. In this example, we'll be converting radians to degrees. Convert 9 pi over 4 radians to degrees. The conversion factor for changing from radians to degrees is to multiply by 180 over pi. So we take and multiply 9 pi over 4 times 180 over pi degrees. When we multiply here, we can see that we can remove a factor of 1, the pi over pi. In addition, 4 will divide into 180 45 times. And so now we multiply and find that this is exactly equal to 405 degrees. So 9 pi over 4 radians is the equivalent of 405 degrees. Let's work another conversion. This time, we'll convert negative 5 pi over 6 to degrees. So we multiply negative 5 pi over 6 times 180 over pi degrees. And again, we can remove the pi over pi, factor of 1. 6 divides in here 30 times. And so we have that it's equal to negative 150 degrees. So negative 5 pi over 6 equals negative 150 degrees. And one more. Let's this time convert 4.25 to degrees. We'll multiply together 4.25 times 180 over pi degrees. We'll use a calculator to do this, and it will give us an approximate answer of 243.5 degrees. Now you can, if you choose, rewrite that as 243 degrees, 30 minutes. Either answer will suffice. and that's what 4.25 radians is equal to. In this example, we'll be finding function values of angles in radian measure. Find the function value tangent of 2 pi over 3. The first thing we're going to do here is to convert this radian measure to degrees. So 2 pi over 3 multiplied by 180 over pi degrees. And when we simplify everything here, we'll find that it's equal to 120 degrees. And so the tangent of 2 pi over 3 is equal to the tangent of 120 degrees. 120 degrees is in the second quadrant, where we know that tangent is negative. So this would be equal to negative the tangent of 60 degrees, 60 degrees being the reference angle for 120. And so then we know that this is equal to negative the square root of 3. So tangent of 2 pi over 3 equals negative the square root of 3. Let's work another one. Here we want to find the function value for the sine of 3 pi over 2. Well, what's good about this particular example is 3 pi over 2 is a quadrantal angle. Perhaps you remember that it's equal to 270. If you do not, then you need to do the conversion by multiplying 3 pi over 2 times 180 over pi. That's equal to 270, as I've already mentioned. So now we know that the sine of 3 pi over 2 is equal to the sine of 270 degrees, and the sine is equal to the y value. This lies right on the y-axis, so the sine of 3 pi over 2 is equal to negative 1. Let's work one more. Find the function value for cosine of negative 4 pi over 3. First thing we'll do is to convert this to its equivalent degree measure. So negative 4 pi over 3 multiplied times 180 over pi degrees. After we cancel the pi's, divide the 3 into the 180, we'll find that this is equal to negative 240 degrees. So we now know that the cosine of negative 4 pi over 3 is equal to the cosine of negative 240 degrees. If we were to draw this angle, negative 240 would end up in quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, cosine is negative. The reference angle would be 60 degrees, so it's equal to negative the cosine of 60. The cosine of 60 is 1/2, so this is equal to negative 1/2, and that means that the cosine of negative 4 pi over 3 is equal to negative 1/2.